I want to have a very serious discussion with you today. This discussion is quite late already. It's like you're not the virgin anymore, but you didn't know you should not be taking it up the ass. Or that blowjob definitely feels very nice, but not when you're doing it, right? I want to talk to you about altcoins. I want to talk to you about biggest opportunity that you're presented with in the upcoming 3 to 6 months. I want to brainwash you into making you rich, right? I want to reiterate on the thesis one more time. I want to share my opinion on the fact that I'm seeing some memes starting to pull back up currently, which I think is great. I will share some things with you as well. And one more time, I want to push you to loan your altcoins. You're afraid, loan with low leverage. I will explain this as well. Loan with low leverage. Once it goes up a bit, don't close your position, goes down, hold. Once it goes up a bit, remove the margin and re-enter. You will be fine. Nothing bad will be happening. Flash that is coming. We will also discuss the flash that everyone is talking about. And the main thing we will be talking about is Bitcoin dominance at this stage. And it's interesting that I just essentially did a small analytical on there, and I realized that I actually did not catch even a 2x on altcoins at this stage. I actually did not catch, between all of the longs that I have, even a 2x at this stage. Despite so many things actually pumping out there, right? Which is a very, very interesting situation when you think about that. I definitely did not make much money currently, but we do see things pumping like crazy. DOT to $11, which was at $4 back at 4th of November, right? We see DOT ecosystem just going crazy as well. We see Mover, and this is actually essentially the better play for DOT out there. I'm just patiently waiting. And the fact that I'm patiently waiting essentially explains to me that the entry points that I have, probably a very, very small amount of people essentially would have the same type of entry points in the coins that I'm longing. And I'm patiently waiting for liquidity to come to my coins. And I would say that most of the coins that I'm longing are actually gaming coins out there. We see a lot of talk from different people in the marketplace currently speaking about the fact that gaming might be the next rotation. We see things like Illuvium surging up higher. We do see things like IMX out there. We do see some other projects that seem to be breaking out as well currently, and we definitely do see liquidity coming into them as well. So I expect with me longing gaming coins for eventual liquidity to come into my stuff as well. And make sure to understand, my positions are not small. I was carefully acquiring them and carefully looking after them to make sure I won't get liquidated, despite the fact I actually got liquidated on some of them. So something I wanted to discuss is BTC dominance. We do see still some people talking about meme coins, trying to trade in meme coins. I'm praying for you in the first place. I really hope everything will be alright with you and you will essentially make it in life. I truly pray for you if you're trading meme coins currently. This is the wrong thing to do, because it might be interesting short term, right? We all have to understand short term and long term. Like long term upside in alts, it easily can just continue for 3 to 6 months from here. They can just go straight up. Take I wanted to share, we are still in the accumulation. For the most of the projects, for the most of altcoin projects, we are still in the accumulation at this stage. We did not break out currently. We're still in the accumulation. And some of you are already saying that, oh, like I'm late. Nah. We are still accumulating at this stage. Most of the gains would be made into the final drop of BTC dominance. The situation I'm seeing currently is that, yeah, we were at like 54.5, we went to 55, and people got back to trade meme coins. I want you to understand, people who are operating meme coin trading currently, like the devs, the influencers, what are they doing? They're just taking liquidity from you in order to be able to long leverage alts themselves. This is the only thing that is happening out there currently. You might want to play the casino if you're good. You would essentially be able to make some money out there. But I'm a strong believer that all of this money should be used in longing altcoins at this stage. And it actually might be way more beneficial to be able to spot early altcoin trends and spot early breakouts than try to play meme coin games currently, because what you have to understand is that the longs you are entering currently, if you won't get liquidated, you will be able to hold these longs for the upcoming 3 to 4 to 5 months. And just by doing nothing, you will be outperforming each and every meme coin trader out there. 99% of them, you'll be outperforming just by doing nothing. And over time, you can even be increasing your long leverage position on the alts as well. Obviously, everyone is afraid of the leverage flush, and this is something we have to discuss as well, because a lot of people, they essentially try to tell you that you have to be cautious currently, you have to wait, maybe the leverage flush is coming. All they're trying to do is to make you poor. And I do think that they actually paid by CIA, probably not obviously by CIA, but probably by the market makers, but by people who are trying to inflict certain sentiment out there, because it's very stupid. We've seen $100,000 BTC almost. We've seen Sui surging up. We've seen Dogecoin surging up, Pepe surging up, and the whole goal of the market makers currently is to persuade you. Think about this. The whole goal of the market makers currently is to persuade you that all the other assets on this marketplace, they're not going higher. They're not growing. Something is bearish about them. They have too much funding rate. Like it's bearish, chart is bearish, we're flushing down, too much leverage. This is the whole purpose of the market makers out there in this current market at this stage. Your whole goal should understand the size of the psyop out there and play this game right. And playing this game right is entering your long positions currently, being able to hold through them, and just increasing them over time, at least until March. I'm not saying that we won't be seeing dips 100%. For example, on most of my high leverage late longs currently, I actually have stop losses at break even, right? To make sure that if we would be seeing this leverage flush, I won't get liquidated out of my margin. So I would be able to re-enter because I'm in profits currently, and they would essentially be closing at a stop loss. Overall, I do not think that leverage flush should be coming. I think that the situation that we'll be seeing currently for quite some time is us having small corrections like 2 to 3K, 2 to 3 to 5K on BTC, which is totally enough at this stage to actually push people to remove leverage and to decrease the funding out there. This is something we've just seen yesterday, right? Everyone was screaming like about what, 85K, 78K. I told you multiple times I actually told you. We are not seeing a correction. And video actually did not get a lot of likes and a lot of views. And I think the reason for this is because maybe a lot of you guys actually bought into the bullshit that's being sold to you by people who bought by the market makers to make sure that you would essentially exit the positions, and you actually sold. And you actually exited your longs, you actually closed them. And maybe this is why you're not satisfied or something. Remove all this stuff out there. Yeah, you missed some great entry points, maybe you missed some pumps, you did not miss nothing at this stage. If you're afraid about like entering the coin at the top or something, first of all, be stupid. Secondly, just enter with low leverage. See what will happen. Enter with 2x leverage, right? You will be able to increase the leverage once the coin will go higher. You will be able to remove the margin and re-enter the loan as well, increasing your position. One more time, we're still in accumulation. One more time, this is the time to build your long leverage altcoin positions to capitalize heavily in the upcoming 3 to 6 months. Best thing, you don't need a lot of money to actually do that. Even like with 10K in margin, you can be making millions of dollars if you would essentially be playing this right. And it should be not that hard at this stage. Just don't get liquidated. So coming back to our BTC dominance. With this small thing, what we see here is that we essentially seeing people starting to go back in meme coins. Fatal mistake, deadly mistake. They will be losing everything. They will be underperforming like crazy at this stage, right? So something I want to show you in terms of the BTC dominance is that we have the conservative target, one more time, conservative target of 45% out there, right? And the bulk of the gains, the largest part of the gains, probably going to be made somewhere here. I can even outline this scenario for you. We will be steadily just going down closer to the end of December, but before Christmas, we will finally have our flash correction. But the prices at that stage, they will already be way higher than they are currently, right? Because the reason for the flash correction would be people capitulating based on FOMO and based on the understanding that they essentially missed listening to the false prophets and just being scared, right? Because there is a reason why people are buying in this bullshit currently, because they're scared, because they took it up the ass so many times in this market already. And me personally as well, I get liquidated a bunch of times. I get liquidated hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I just cannot be sitting there seeing what I've seen and understanding what I'm doing. This is one in a lifetime opportunity easily. It's very hard to say if this industry won't get finally institutionalized with a bunch of ETFs. It's very hard to say if we are going to have similar type of setup in the upcoming years. This might be one like last opportunity in 100 years to actually be able to present, so to do these things, to leverage loan these altcoins before all these people and all this liquidity will essentially be coming. Would I want to miss something like this? No. I would rather get liquidated to zero than not try essentially play this thing outright, right? So, because yeah, the things that come in, they should be not that great. So what I'm seeing would essentially be going lower. I don't know about the exact level at this stage. Then we will have our leverage flag, but it will be quick. Based on the BTC dominance chart of previous years, it happened like in several days, right? And then we'll essentially continue to 45, right? And here, like, everyone would be screaming, yeah, finally, leverage flush, we're probably going higher, we're setting a new high. Now we're not. At the same time, when they will be screaming this to you, they will be buying altcoins and leverage long altcoins like crazy, right? And this is actually the reason of why this thing should not essentially happen for a long period of time, because I do think that the buy pressure should be quite crazy on this one. And we'll continue to 45, and bulk of the gains will be made right here. This is where you will be waking up, as Kyle Chess essentially says, and just seeing 2x on your altcoins on a daily basis, every day, each and every day, right? Like last several days of this like move up essentially. Maybe it will be happening closer to the inauguration time of Trump. We'll see, right? Maybe this is the situation. It will be happening closer to the March, right? Closer to the end of all this like altcoin season out there. But Ethereum even did not have a breakout yet. Like, what are we even talking about here? This is crazy to me that people are still scared and people are not seeing what should be seen at this stage. Low leverage altcoins and hold and build your long positions. This is the safest thing out there that you actually might be doing. Like, worst drop that should be happening 30% on BTC, like from what? From 90 to 60? Nah, man, it's not happening. It's not happening 100%. There is a clear direction that is being discussed currently between countries' governments that people would be buying Bitcoin. Everyone is sick about dollar, about all these like currencies. People are sick about them as well. The world would want to have something that is not controlled by anyone, allegedly, right? And this might be the way essentially. With all this, like, it's quite funny how all this like wishy-washy dreams of Bitcoin holders are essentially coming true. Like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. It's like reality that they constantly projected, and they actually move this reality from their heads into our plane, right? It's crazy. It's pure magic out there. Like, it's clear manipulation of reality by Bitcoin holders. It's not done yet. We'll see whether or not it would essentially be finalized. But if you think about that, this would be just crazy. If you would ask me what altcoins to hold at this stage, I do think that you essentially have three choices at this stage. First, you just see what is breaking out currently. In order to be able to spot that, you essentially just have to spend all the time behind your screen. Something is breaking out, you're entering the long, you're taking your 200% movement. And one more time, I did not take 200% movement on any alt that I'm logging currently. I did not take, despite the fact that it might seem that a bunch of alts are actually pumping, and they're definitely pumping. I did not experience even a 2x on leverage that I'm doing, right? 2x, I mean like the 2x spot price, but me being able to leverage loan it before this 2x movement essentially happened. I did not experience this yet, despite the fact I made some money, obviously. Second thing, it's definitely interesting to be playing out with boomer coins currently and try to play on these narratives. I do believe that like we're definitely still in there. Today we have the pumpage of DOT, of Mover, of Kusama as well. They might be quite nice as well. Obviously, you're not getting the bulk of the move because you were not positioned before, but the move just started, and still like over the upcoming several days it should continue pumping, and over the upcoming several months it should be doing crazy well as well. Third thing, which is quite interesting, that a lot of people are essentially starting to talk about, and I made my video about gaming when no one essentially talked about, which received less than 1,000 views in 18 hours, which is crazy, right? But this was after I've seen this amount of views on this video, I woke up the next day and I messaged and I essentially shared the post on Twitter. It's great, this did not get views. It means I will be making money. And I will take money over views each and every time, right? So it seems like the narrative is getting picked up and picked up more, and we definitely see this in the charts. And right now, like, it's not about the narratives. I think like it's more like you're lucky if your thing is pumping the first. Obviously, there are very, very smart people who essentially were able to predict this move with all the coins, right? And in kind of like with people that have more experience in alt season, this is actually the issue that I'm seeing, that a lot of these cycle participants, even like people who were able to get nice following, they never experienced alt season. And that's why like a lot of them, they're essentially still in memes, or maybe they experienced only the end of the alt season in the previous cycle. And end of the alt season in the previous cycle, you could have spent 5 years in crypto and you only have seen the end of the alt season in the previous cycle. Just think about that, how crazy this is, right? So a very, very small amount of people, if you think about that, actually experienced full alt season from the start. And that's why like all these mistakes have been made, but it's great. It just means that there would be exit liquidity for me and there would be people entering after me. And despite this, they will be making money anyway. And there are a bunch of people, I'm sure, that will be making much more money that I will be making eventually, and they will be entering after me as well. Maybe they will just enter larger leverage long positions on certain alts that I'm essentially sitting in currently. Maybe they will just make some money in some other things as well. This is the thing that I'm seeing currently, that you have to just do the correct, the right action, and the correct and right action is just the most simple one at this stage. Just loan your alts, loan stuff that didn't go up. That's it. And like obviously if you know some things about altcoin market, preferably loan stuff that is from this cycle that didn't go up, right? And preferably with a good reason as well, because if for example the narrative went up as well, if for example the narrative went up already but the alt did not go up, there might be something happen with this alt, right? But in general, if the narrative did not play out yet, gaming, like for example, certain Ethereum layer 2s, right? Probably some things in Ethereum echo. Despite the fact that you might say, wow, no, Stan, like they went up so much already, I missed my entry point. Just take this person out of your mind. Imagine taking this person out of your mind. Imagine taking him in your fist, and imagine just I don't know, just beating the shit out of this person. These are the most stupidest thoughts that you can have at this stage. We are still in accumulation. For most of the altcoins, we are still in accumulation at these levels. Even if they've done like 3 to 4x from the bottoms, I would still say that we are in the accumulation. Very few alts actually did have a breakout. And please also, do not focus on the alts that have the breakout already. Do not focus on the things that pumped. Everything will pump. This is about human greed at this stage. I kind of had these thoughts in my head like, wow, and maybe like, what if like this thing won't essentially go up and things like that, but everything will go up. This is about human greed. Obviously, it's better and it's great if you're able to position the narratives that are pumping the first, but at this stage, we kind of know what is this. These are essentially altcoins, right? Boomer coins. But alts from this cycle, eventually, they will be outperforming heavily. It's just about, it's like ideal scenarios that you're entering the old coin out, and then it pumps and new alt waits through the whole time. So then you can actually take profits, and you take all of your profits and you reposition into new alt, and only then it actually starts to pump and starts to break out. But the situation is that old coin is outperforming, and this alt is slightly moving as well. So you're not getting like the exact nice bottom entry point. And if you are, you should really consider and think, why I'm giving this bottom entry point? Why people are not entering this long? Am I really smart? Or maybe something like wrong is happening here, right? So this is just something I wanted to share at this stage. Please guys, focus on this information. Thank you very much for watching this one. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Stay healthy and rich, and bye-bye.